I'm gonna use it on the priestess. I might end up regretting that decision, but gonna go with that. I still massively want him to try and target. I mean, yeah, I have not got the ability to be able to save Bubba right now. I had the ability to save Bubba. I got a little bit too greedy. I got too greedy. Hello, Gomez here yet again for the LAN Up channel. Actually, today's deck is a viewer request. So I actually got this comment not too long ago from WD Gaster asking for a Mind Meld with Out of the Way deck, and not being one to disappoint, I decided to have a little bit of play around and see what I could do. So this is what I came up with. Let's get into it. So firstly, I did a little bit of experimentation to make sure the actual combination would work, because we know with Lulu, it actually doesn't work. Like the stat boost that you get from Lulu does not actually keep without the way. So I just did a quick thing to make sure, and it does actually work. The stats do stay on, so that's why we know this can work, and that's why I decided to have a little play around with it. So I decided to call the deck I Did It Mind Way, because to me that sounded funny in my head. It's probably not that funny. Let's get into the deck itself. Okay, so Fizz, because Fizz makes 100% sense in a deck like this, Mind Meld and spells and whatnot, so I wanted to put Fizz in there for that elusive element, because as well, remember that once you play out the way, Fizz actually retains that that elusiveness, and because you're going to be using quite a lot of spells, because you want to be using those spells, because you want to be trying to get Mind Meld up as much as possible, because obviously for each spell that is done, the health and power goes up. Fizz is just really nice, especially at this moment in time when you've got a lot of kind of like targety spells. Vengeance, you've got Vile Feast, Unspeakable Horror, you've got my mind can't think of anything, Concussive Palms. You've got a lot of really targety spells, and so the lovely thing about Fizz is that he can get around them. So that's the reason why I decided to put Fizz in this deck. Now, let's get to a few questionable things. So, admittedly, Messenger's Sigil doesn't necessarily need to be in this deck. Technically that could be changed for Warning Shot. I just wanted a really cheap burst spell card that I could use, so that basically, even on 1 mana I can save Fizz's life. I mean, obviously I've said if you use Warning Shot, then that does mean that you can still save Fizz's life and it doesn't cost you anything. Because obviously I want something, but I didn't really want Jettison, and I didn't really want Shakedown, because Shakedown could potentially kill Fizz if in the wrong situation. So I wanted a burst speed spell, and so basically you don't want to be using this spell unless it's to save Fizz. That is the whole reason this spell is in there, is to save Fizz when you've got really low mana. The good thing about it is that in the late game it's very important, because as you will see, there's not too many actual units in this deck. There's a lot of spells to be working to help level up Fizz and to level up Mind Meld, but there's not a lot of actual units. So actually that spell putting units into your deck, and especially units which are going to be drawing, it's not actually bad in the late games. That's why I actually I kind of don't mind Messenger Sigil, but that could be removed. And I said Warning Shot could be put in, or you could change some other things around to put Warning Shot in. It's just that's what I decided to go, because I know that this deck is not really minion heavy. I wanted something. So I put in, Behold, because again, you get given all the chances of the Invoke cards. You can find units for the Invoke, or you can find answers like Obliterate and whatnot through there. So I do like that as well, as it being quite a cheap spell that activates Fizz. Draw and healing is never a bad thing. Hush, just in case you come across something where you do need it. Like if your opponent is playing something elusive as well, and you still want to be saving Fizz's life, you could just you could hush it, or if there's a trade that's going to be better by hushing. It's a good card. It's a good card to have, and plus it's quite cheap. Power Cascade yet again for activating Fizz, as well as the fact that it gives you draw when Out the Way is activated. Obviously that buff is a permanent. I put this in just to give Fizz a little bit of a buff stat, in terms of, say, it's not just on the 1 health, so just in case you don't have a spell at the time, if somebody's trying to use Unspeakable Horror or whatnot, then that's something that you can use to kind of what you got, like, so you know that his stat is going to be slightly higher. Admittedly, it's not 100% needed. Potentially removing that and putting in maybe some copies. I do still feel like Jailbreak might be something that you want in this deck, because I still feel like this deck needs a few more units. As I've already said, though, which like it's quite unit down. Bubble Bear is just amazing in terms of its stat block. So its stat block is going to be blocking quite a lot of things, as well as the fact that it does have that elusive keyword. So the good thing is that you can block, you can heal it up a little bit if needed, or widget with either of these two things, and it can keep it going, stand on the board, so you can do some trades, because its main thing is you want to try and keep it on the board, because when Mind Meld drops, those stats are going to skyrocket. Double Trouble is your main thing for trying to like go wide slightly on the board, so that you've got presence, so you can block if need be, but also will work really well with Mind Meld in the end. Pick a card. Really good draw mechanic, considering the fact that quite a lot of the things in here are cheap. The only thing that's not is actually Mind Meld itself, so you want to be maybe a little bit careful when you put it, but in the late game it's a really good draw mechanic where you basically are going to be able to use everything that you draw off of it. Priestess, yet again, to give you that invoke mechanic to potentially just like find things that you need, like in terms of obliterate or bald presence with gold sisters. It's just a nice little thing. Bastion is actually to save Fizz's life, because we do know that Avalanche is very prevalent at this moment in time. You've got Ruination is quite a prevalent thing as well. So actually being able to save Fizz from things that, because once you put Bastion on Fizz, anything that targets him, you can still just get rid of it, and he keeps that Bastion. So anything that targets him, you can use a spell that gets rid of it, but he still keeps that Bastion, so he will stay on the board. For which it's when Ruination or anything that hits everyone that Fizz can't block, he is still blocking it, which is very nice. Jump in the water creates a mean, as well as creating something vulnerable, so you can get something off the back bench. So creates a mean, so you got something else on the board. Zap is really good for his elusive ability, as well as the fact that he's going to be drawing spells. So obviously spells is what helps with Fizz. So that's really nice, as well as said the draw mechanic itself. And we've got two out the ways, because yeah, again, it's one of those things that once it gets used, it does become not the best, and you've got pick a card and things that should hopefully help you draw that for the late game, because obviously like your main mechanic that you want to be working with it is Mind Meld. Now the reason why this makes Mind Meld slightly more viable is because you feel bad, right? You feel bad when you have to use Mind Meld defensively. Like if your opponent's got like some big ass units that you know that are going to die if you don't do something, you Mind Meld so that you can get big stats on the board, you can block, but then they lose those stats for the next round, and so you've got a board, but if you've not got another Mind Meld, it's like whereas obviously with this they keep that stat, so it's not, you don't feel bad about using it on the defensive turn, is what the point of having this. It kind of like makes it feel slightly more viable and better. So that's the deck. As I said, I do feel like there needs to be a couple of change arounds. I still like potentially swapping something out for Jailbreak, or potentially swapping something out for I can't think of his bloody name right now. Petty Officer, because Petty Officer again puts two units on the board, which is very nice. You could also use it to put in the Navigator, but the Navigator, see, this is when you're starting to get like the cost. Her stat is really good, and obviously Scout is very nice, but it's starting to get the stat, which the things where pick a card becomes slightly less nice in certain situations. So it's still doable. I still would recommend potentially coming up with putting her in, or putting Petty Officer in, just so you get more board presence, as well as the fact that it's more for defensive purposes and having things on the board so that you can use with Mind Meld. So I don't know what I'd do. I mean, potentially I said Sunblessed, that you could technically get rid of. But this is the deck that I'm running at this moment in time. But yes, so if there's any changes or anything like that, please let me know what you think down in the comment section down below, because I do still believe there could be some change around. Concept is there, we just need to build around it. So please let me know what you think, as well as the fact that if you're like this video so far, then why don't you hit that like button and subscribe. I do actually have a goal where I'm trying to hit either 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, or 1,000 followers on Twitch. We are so close on Twitch, and we hit the we just hit past the 800 part on YouTube. So the amount of support that you guys have been giving is amazing. So if you want to help, if you haven't already, and want to help this curly-haired mustachio man live his dreams, please feel free to hit those buttons. Speaking about the Twitch, there is the Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, active on all of them. So if you want to get involved in any of those, it's very nice. I stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So you want to come catch the action live, duel me, deck suggestions, just watch the crazy banter as it unfolds. Please feel free to pop along and have a good time. Yeah, I think that I've got pretty much all the things covered from what I remember. I mean, I might be wrong, but anyway, if I haven't, then I do apologise. But let's get in. Oh no, which is the Discord. That's the other one. The Discord link is down below. So if you want to join the community, because we're making a lovely community of people who love Legends of Runeterra, love playing games in general, and love having a good time. So we actually do have a games night and a movie night in that Discord. So if you want to get involved, please feel free to, but do not feel forced. Anyway, now let's go see how this deck does in a couple of matchups. Oh, deep. Okay. Deep might be a problem because admittedly our game strategy requires time. And they start putting us on a clock. Right. I'm actually going to keep... Potentially get rid of Hush for the time being, but I'm actually going to keep this starting hand. Because there's not a lot that he can do on the first turn. Oh, and that's nice. So... I'm gonna throw Fizz out. I kind of don't want to have to use anything. I kind of don't want to have to use anything, so I can throw you out on turn 3. But I feel like, you know, we definitely know that there's Vile in this deck and whatnot. I mean, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna see. The thing is, I leave Fizz 100% vulnerable next turn if I don't do something. What I mean is, like, if I just use the out the way move, I leave Fizz 100% vulnerable. So potentially throwing this out. Big part of me is like, do we just pass the turn, see what our opponent does? Hope that they don't just pass themselves. They could do. Okay. He's still within. At least one of the atrocities are gone. But he still is within massive range to be able to get rid of Fizz. I feel like I'm just going to have to go. I'm just gonna have to go with that so that I know that Fizz is secure. I would love to have thrown the out the way move out then, but I just feel like there's always a chance. There was always a chance of like Vile or something, which is a shame because I would have loved to have just played that move that early on. But we're gonna keep the spell mana. Gonna go for that. We're gonna go for that move this turn because we know that we do have counters this time. Whew. I'm not gonna lie. It's getting the speed at which they're becoming deep is becoming scary. I'm not gonna lie. The speed of deep. We do have a rally move, but we don't really have anything which hey. We don't really have anything which is at this moment in time. Ooh. At least that stat stays on Fizz. At least that stat does stay on Fizz. So potentially, oh yes, actually starting to top deck the things that stay on, which are not too bad. Okay, I'm gonna go with this move. We've got a heal. We've got a heal for Fizz. I really need to hope that we can top deck Mind Meld before the terrible problems come to me. If we use this, it means that we can still use Power Cascade. So I'm gonna throw Bubba Bear out more for the fact. Oh, actually, that means that we can still use Power Cascade and use that. Problems. Right. We can use this to get this so that we can actually, because I'm guessing that he's got like a jettison or something along those lines. So actually using this to increase your stats just so that you're above this when it levels up is quite nice. There's the Mind Meld. It's only on 4 right now, but there's the Mind Meld. So we can't just have to go for building a board now and trying to use as many spells as possible. We do have quite a lot of the elusive now, so that's at least one thing. But obviously, the speed at which they've become deep has been very fast, and so we kind of need to hope that we can find counter, because it is becoming devastating. I'm not gonna lie. Okay.
Can't say no to Fizz.
Kind of just trying to tempt him to try and target Fizz right now. The idea is that, okay, right, so how, still it's only 5. It's only 5! I mean, admittedly, that could actually be, it's not really, we want them to at least get past 7, because once they're past 7, then once this levels up, it can't really affect it. So we kind of want to get them past 7. So, okay. Let's do the sensible thing first. Just because we know that Withering Well's in that deck. As well as the fact that we've also leveled Fizz. But we know that Withering Well's in that deck, so we kind of want to be careful there. But we don't want to put all of our eggs in one basket, so we kind of got to also be careful on that front. So, potentially giving its gifts to Bubba. Okay. I feel like the jettison. I feel like a jettison move or something comes out here. We could actually just throw everything forward and then go for a rally move. We could just throw everything forward and go for a rally move, but then that leaves us with no spell mana. So I'd rather do this move, hope that we can force this trade elf. No, he's too smart for that. He's too smart for that.
Danger pays.
Okay, so I mean, we might be losing things, but we do have everything. We've kind of got everything we need. We just need to make sure we can maintain a board state. Kind of need to use this because once he levels Malachi up, that is like our only defense. I mean, the problem is every single one becomes a draw, but at least it gives us a board that we can then use you on. So it's not 100% the worst thing, right? I might even use pick a card. I might even use pick a card on. Do we use it on these? Such a. Sorry, I'm gonna use it on the priestess. I might end up regretting that decision, but gonna go with that. I still massively want him to try and target. I mean, yeah, I have not got the ability to be able to save Bubba right now. I had the ability to save Bubba. I got a little bit too greedy. I got too greedy. Should have just left the turn. Should have just left the turn rather than going for this massive draw move. On the plus side, we can still use. Right, so yeah, he grabs Fizz. Kind of feel like we have to go with these moves here. So I can still save Fizz's life, but I do have another Fizz in hand, and we are going to be bringing everyone to the same level soon. So I feel like I'm gonna end up regretting this decision, right? I'm gonna end up regretting this decision, but it's the decision I'm going for. It's getting Fizz back here, and then boom, Mind Meld. This is the plan. This is the plan. So I do feel like I'm gonna regret it. But let's do it. Let's do it. Come on. Mind Meld plan. Okay, so what can he hit us with for free? He could still trade that off. He could still trade this off with like a vial or something, but we've kind of got to go for this move. Give everyone 8. We've already got 2 who are going to be in the elusive field with 8. I mean, this feels like we've got to go for this move now, right? We've got to go for this move now. Because it's massively not what our opponent's expecting. Yeah, I feel like they tried to kill. Yep, they kill what they can. But we had to go for the move. We've still got these in the elusive, which means that we can trade off with his sea monsters. Admittedly, I said this is gonna make us lose our resource, and I definitely feel like he just throws down the Nautilus next turn. He throws down the Nautilus next turn. but there's nothing we can do about that. And so there we go. He gets the level up. He gets the level up. We lose all of these cards. We've still got another Mind Meld in hand, as well as the fact that we can shuffle some more cards into our deck. So it's not the worst thing that's happened to us. It's slightly bad, but it's not. That is definitely not a card that I needed. It's slightly bad, but it's not the worst thing that's happened to us. So I'm gonna go with this. Gonna try to force out their sea monsters. If only we had our rally again. If we had our rally again, we might be okay. I mean, like a Bastion seems like the best move right now. He actually can't throw it, so he can't throw his Nautilus out this turn, but obviously... oh, crap. Curse you and your abilities! Yeah, no, that budget procs the spell shield, and he still gets the vengeance off. So he didn't sadly actually even get to kill that, which is really annoying, but fair play to them, fair play to them. There's nothing we can do about that. Okay. What we can do is at least go with you so that we can take that Malachi off of his side of the board, as well as giving us like our minion that's back here. Okay, and we could actually throw this in, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it for a turn. But we could, because I feel like I need as many spells as possible to counter. Bloody hell, I was not expecting to get many doggos. Apparently we've gone down the many doggo route. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, because I feel like the atrocity move is coming up. I feel like the atrocity move is coming up, so I'm actually just gonna go with this as being my move. So that we've got rid of his elusive. We've got rid of his elusive. It comes back to our turn. Okay. Throw doggo. And then he'll core slightly. It doesn't give us enough, but it gives us slightly something. Throw doggo out. Who gives us doggo? Which means that we throw doggo out. There's the Nautilus. There's the Nautilus. There's the Nautilus move. So we throw doggo out again. I mean, we're getting close to problems. We're getting close to problems, but we've kind of got to go for this move. So many doggos. There's so many doggos. Right. Okay, so he's going for the target move there. Can't sadly do anything about that. Cannot do anything about that. Gonna throw out this doggo again. Right, so this is now where the hook move comes out, right? So he's got his hooks. He's got his hooks. So the idea is throw you out, go for Mind Meld again. It seems like it's my best plan right now. So go with that and then go for Mind Meld. So, go for the Mind Meld. This is literally the only move that I've got right now. So, go for that. Go for Mind Meld. 14 14s! It's the only counter right now that I've currently got. So, we go with that move. If he tries to target Fizz... No! No! Oh, the fact... I mean, I knew that the atrocity was always a thing. But it was our best chance there with this matchup. I knew this would be a weak matchup, but we gave it all and it was close. Yes, no, indeed, very much Shen. Oh, but the fact, that board of 14 14s ruined. Ooh, actually, a really interesting deck. Which archetype this one is really interesting. I like. Because obviously it's got the avalanche and whatnot that just really helps with leveling up. Which is Swain, as well as the fact that if you've got like some of like those minions like the 2/4 whoever he takes damage, as well as like the 0/3 that takes damage and goes up. I mean, it's a really good deck. It's a really good deck. Bastion, get rid of you for the time being. But as you, maybe we should have kept Bastion because obviously it would have saved Fizz from Avalanche. So potentially we should have kept that. But we're just going to go into the turn, so just like skip this turn, immediately going to play Fizz, throw Power Cascade on him. But yeah, I feel like Avalanche is going to be a problem. But yeah, next turn we go into that move just because at least then Fizz gains the elusiveness. Oh, why have you got to make me top deck this that makes me want to stop my plans? Because legitimately that does mean stop plans and make some edits, because all you've got to do is wait, activate, and then those Power Cascades actually like add on to Fizz. Oh, I mean, so much of me's thinking double trouble. Sonic, we're gonna go with this move. But I feel like maybe we should have just gone with the double trouble, because we kind of like the bold state at this moment in time. We are just going. We are going to be losing bald, which is like, you know, the presence of bald in just that attack. So we are just going to be losing seven health. I'm going to throw Fizz on the board now. But yeah. Next turn, go immediately into double trouble. And then if they try to target Fizz with something. But as an Avalanche, and actually Avalanche still keeps that guy on the board. So Avalanche actually is a really good counter for our opponent right now. This is literally nothing we can do about it. So they still keep this. So they still keep the 4 damage. Okay. Right. He didn't want to use the Avalanche because he wanted this to fill the buff. So he probably does have Avalanche in hand, but he didn't want to use it that turn because he saw that in his hand and wanted that. Okay, right. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I was massively expecting there to still be the Avalanche, but okay, this is actually still an even more powerful move. It's a really powerful move. Okay. So we're going to be receiving. I mean, we probably might even just die here to this move. So what we can do is.
You're boring.
Okay. So we can actually buff somebody to be able to take on Vlad. Whether or not we make that Fizz or not is a different matter, but Fizz is gonna die anyway. Right.
These were from the Protector himself.
I feel like I will regret this move. I will regret this move, but it's the only thing that's coming to my mind as being okay, let's go with this. So we sacrifice her to kill Vlad. We're probably gonna have to sacrifice everything on the board anyway.
We'll make quick work of you.
But we are in trouble regardless. So
This is not the way.
okay. So the Mind Meld's out. But the fact we're gonna be going down. This is such a hard level to go down to. But we've got to go with it. Gonna take it. Gonna regret everything, but gonna take it. Okay. It's fine. So zap. So we're getting near to our end game, right? Because we've got the Mind Meld move, but we need a bigger board to be able to celebrate with it. So throw Zap out, throw Double Trouble out. We also want to kind of be getting that up slightly more than what it is. So we'll throw Double Trouble out. I feel like we just go for this attack move first.
Sure.
Ooh. On the plus side, he did actually remove some of the threats. So that's at least one good thing. He actually removed some of the threats for us, which is very nice.
This door is
Okay, don't worry, it's fine, it's fine. Look, we can still trade off with this ball though, in an okay way with Double Trouble. So, actually, we should have used it first. I didn't actually realise that was Fizz's level ups. I should have actually checked Fizz. I should have checked Fizz to see what his level up was, because obviously we could have got a free spell out of that if I was smart. We still have got a heal, so we can heal that core. We could trade. I mean, the fact that this is elusive is hilarious. We're not going to get to see it. Because I mean, we could Mind Meld now because we can play more spells and Mind Meld later, but I feel like he goes in for an open attack. If he doesn't go in for an open attack, we Mind Meld and then work from there, watch it from then on. So potentially, actually, if he's got Avalanche, this is such a bastard move for him if he's got it. It does mean trading off two of his minions though.
Oh, great.
I mean, one of his biggest statted minions, letting them go. So we're going to go with the Mind Meld right now because we actually get some okay trade-offs from that, as well as the fact that we still have another Mind Meld. So if worst comes to the worst, we've got plans. So we go with that. We go with the Mind Meld. We go with one Mind Meld to defend, and then play some more spells and potentially another Mind Meld in the future. But the fact that we've got 3 elusives, right? This is actually the game. This is the game where things might actually go our way. Don't get me wrong. There's been many games with this deck that have definitely not gone my way, but this is going to be the deck that goes. This is going to be the time it goes my way. We might even see just potential concede. Ooh. I mean, I feel like we just go with the open. We just go the straight up open attack right now. We could have widget thrown her forward, but I still want to keep her back defensively. But yeah, go straight in. Yep, there we go. There's the concede, because what can you do against all that elusive damage coming at you? But we did have the backup just in case we needed it. So I'm not gonna lie, this is definitely a meme deck again, but it was created, it was what a viewer wanted to see, so I tried to work with it. As I said, I do still feel that you might need some more units on the board, so actually potentially the Navigator might be a really smart move for the Scout as well as the stat level, because admittedly Petty Officer is good, because he can create 2 minions as well, but with her stat block she can survive a lot more, because obviously with Withering Whale and things like that out, an increased stat block is very nice. But it's an enjoyable deck when it works. It's just getting it to work. But the fact that the combo can actually kind of work out. But as I said, this is just the concept and the framework. I do feel like this deck does need to be edited to become more viable. But it's fun. So please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you make any changes to the deck, please let me know. I'm always interested to hear from you guys. If there's any other kind of deck ideas that you want to see, please let me know again, and I will try my best to kind of work around it. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this is definitely more of a fun deck because the amount of time I've spent recording. So in terms of recording wise, we're currently up to 1 hour and 25 minutes, and we're not talking about, so that's including the intro, card explanation, but then all the games that we've played. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the games we played, so we played against Scout several times, and Scout just tears this deck apart because of just how quick it is, and the fact that we don't have many units that we can play, as well as the fact that we don't have much removal, means that Scout tears this apart. We did actually play a couple of games against the ramp deck as well, which again, if they get to that point before you can at least get some presence on the board to be smashing forward, you are done. So admittedly, against like the major decks at this moment in time, it's not a strong deck, but it's a fun deck. So I just want to be honest with you guys here, because don't you guys like how putting this into ladder, because definitely this is not a place for ladder. For having fun, yes, this deck will work. But yeah, if there's anything else, please let me know. As well as I do stream on Twitch on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, so you want to come check that out, check me out live, please feel free to, as well as the fact that there is the Discord link down below if you want to join that. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed your time. Until next time, bye. You do it. I said don't you do it. Okay. Is there literally anything that I could draw or that I could get from Flash of Brilliance that could save me? Save me! That doesn't save me. Okay. Is there anything from you Save me. That doesn't save me! Okay. Get rid of this and get rid of this. Find something that can save me.